Hello everyone, and welcome to another Top 5 Records video. One of the most beautiful albums from the 70s to me is American Beauty by the Grateful Dead. A beautiful achievement in their studio albums. But what is the best sounding pressing of this album? And that's an interesting question, I think, because this has been recorded gorgeously. So if you want to come close to this achievement, which pressing should you have? And to find that out, I'm going to compare three different pressings. What I'm holding here is a first US copy from 1970. Here I have the 50th anniversary that came out in 2020. And I've also got here 45 RPM mobile Fidelity Sound Lab pressing. Now, I'm going to start off with the one that I bought first, which is this one, the 50th anniversary from 2020. This is really, it's quite something. This is easily available. It was released by Warner and Rhino, and they did an amazing pressing of it. They took special care of it. And what we have here is a beautiful, bright sounding pressing with a wide stereo image. The presentation of the guitars is gorgeous. So when I first heard this, actually I thought, why would I want another pressing? This sounds so great. But then again, a friend of mine came over, and of course he had to buy the Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab. And we had to compare it. And I have it here, the Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab. For me personally, there was no need to look any further, really, because the 50th anniversary is gorgeous. Yet the MoFi is on 45 RPM, but, and this outcome might surprise you, this is one that was directly cut to Lathy. I'm not sure if I pronounced it right, my English, but this has not got a digital step in the process, for which Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab had a lot of negative commentary in the last couple of years. So this might be interesting. Now, this 2014 pressing, I put it on 45 RPM, so you might predict that it would have a benefit there. And to be quite frank, it has so much more detail. Even the voice, and I don't hear that very often with MoFi, but even the voice is more present. There's so much beautiful detail there. The bass is incredibly more defined than any other one. It's much more present. It's fuller. I'm even doubting whether it is louder. But we're gonna find out later on if this is actually closer to the original mastering than the 50th anniversary. The overall balance seems better. The overall balance between high and low and mid and everything is, I mean, it's not as if they just boosted the highs or boosted the lows. It's a beautiful, well-defined mastering job. The stereo image and the detail is spectacular. This is everything you might expect if you want to buy a 45 RPM audiophile pressing. Seriously, if they would continue the level of this release, they would not have had the negative attention they've had recently. And as a matter of fact, a pressing like this proves to me that MoFi has tricks up their sleeve. They have the ability to come up with gorgeous, incredible sounding pressings, because this is one of the best MoFis. It's one of the most impressive audiophile records I have in my collection. It is a stunning pressing. Now, tough question. After buying this, there was no need for me to buy another pressing. But then, by pure coincidence, I walked into a record store in Amsterdam, and they had an original US pressing for 15 euros. So I couldn't lay that lying. The record is just too good, so I bought an OG, and Man, also this one. It's an impressive pressing. It's really an impressive pressing. The difference for me with the MoFi is that you can immediately hear that the stereo image is not as wide and the overall detail is a bit less. Yet I hear a certain difference in nuance and in the texture of what they did to the vocal. There's just a textural difference. I'm not sure if it's not reverb. I guess it sounds a bit more a bit. It sounds like there is a roughness there, just tiny bit of roughness, which is not that present on the MoFi. It has a beautiful natural sound. The bass over here is definitely better than on the 50th anniversary. Yet I think the complete image, like the presence of the high, is better in the 50th anniversary. But overall, I mean, if you can find this instead of a 50th anniversary, go ahead, buy it. You'll love it. It's a beautiful, balanced, full, warm sounding pressing, a beautiful representation of the voice. On the 50th anniversary, I just love the way the guitars is represented. So you won't have a bad time buying any of these. Yet the original has, of course, a certain naturalism to the sound, which I enjoy. Nevertheless, if I'd had to choose, if I'd had to give in all my pressings, except for one, and this is the first time I've said this with regard to an original pressing, and a beautiful original pressing. I mean, this is masterfully crafted. It's a gorgeous original pressing. But comparing it to the MoFi, I mean, that is just such a spectacular audiophile representation. I mean, I'm just in love with the MoFi. All three of these are worthwhile purchases. There is not a bad pressing among them. But for me, it's the MoFi. Yet I'll also be playing this. Depends on the mood. I'll also be playing this. I'm not going to put this in a shelf and let it dust there. The MoFi and this will be played a lot. So this is my video. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave a comment below and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.